Hello there. I'm David A. Specht, and I want to be your coach. If there's anything that I have learned in my 30 plus years of leadership and coaching, I have learned that mindset is everything. Join me and my guests as we explore the positives and negatives of that thing between our ears. This is Keep This in Mind. Welcome to Keep This in Mind, brought to you by davidaspecht.com. And of course, I am David A. Specht. And I wanted to share with you today a little bit about habits. And I'm going to play for you a recording I did earlier this week where my partner and I have been training a group of individuals on habit building. And I got into the subject of going deeper to your why. And I think if we begin to go deeper into our why each and every day, each and every situation, whether it's in our health, in our business, in our careers, that if we can get to that deepest why, it can help us build the discipline we need to be successful. So listen up, listen to this episode, and I believe that it will benefit you greatly. Today, I want to kind of wrap up everything that we've been talking about this week. I mean, we have thrown a lot of information, a lot of thoughts, a lot of actionable items to you. And, I want to talk about how we make all of it work. How do we make all of this work? Because over the next few weeks, there's going to be so much action that we're going to be asking you to take that it might just get a little overwhelming to you. And you have to ask yourself, how am I going to make this work? How do I do it? How do I switch from motivation to discipline? How do I build from habits into habits and make it part of my identity? This has all been great, and I love the tools that we've received, but how? How do I do it, David? How? Well, first off, we've got to begin to ask the right question. And that question is why? It's why. Now, before you check out, because you've heard everybody talk about find your why, do your why, start with why. There's books about why. That's not necessarily where I'm going with this. I want to ask you, why are you going through this exercise? Why are you doing this? Why are you showing up here? Why are you setting goals? Why? Why? Once we begin with that question and we start digging a little bit deeper, we can find that which is necessary to complete the tasks. So let's start with goals as an example. Why are you setting goals for 2024? Is it because the boss wants them? I've got to turn in goals, David. I mean, he's asking, she's asking, they're asking. I have to turn it in. It's a form I have to fill out. And are you setting goals because you've seen other successful people? And, successful people set goals because they follow processes, and they, in order to become successful, I want to do what the successful people do. Okay, you have now said, why are goals set? But that was not the question I asked. I asked the question, why are you setting goals? Why are you setting them? Because the goals are unique to you. I can't tell you what your goals should be. I can give you some suggestions based upon what I know, but they're your goals. Why are you setting your goals? Why are you setting your goals? And then as we start going through the exercise, why is that your goal? Or why are those your goals? It's a very deep question. And I'm going to give you an example of one process that I went through. And again, it's not to bore you with stories about my life. That's not it. But when I see an example that works out, I want to share it with you. I want to say, this is how you go there. You see, when you get to a deep enough reason why, Again, that helps you maintain your discipline. That helps you do the things you don't want to do, but you know you need to do. And it keeps you from doing things you don't need to do when you desperately want to do them. So in 2018, I began a health journey. And that health journey required me to stick to a very tight structure, to do things that I'd never done before, to eat things that, to be honest with you, I despised at the time. And these are all the whats. These are the how of the equation. This is the process and the method by which I lost 120 pounds 5 years ago. But the thing that's not in this equation that I've just shared with you is the why. Well, David, why did you do it? Did you have a health scare? Not really. Well, your wife was doing it at the same time. Were you doing it for her? That's what I told people. But I'll tell you this. I did it because, and here's my why, I wanted to be an active grandfather. And I didn't even have a grandson at the time. You're like, David, well, why did you? And this is the exercise I want you to get into. Let's go deeper. Well, why do you want to be an active grandfather? Well, I want to be the type of grandfather that plays on the floor with my grandson, not the type of grandfather that sits on the couch with the remote while they play on the floor. Well, why do you want to be on the floor with your grandson? Well, it's because I saw my dad doing it with my kids. And I want to do like it. Well, why do you want to be a type of grandfather like your dad was? Because I want to have my grandchildren. I want them to see me, my grandchildren to see me the way my sons see their grandfather. You see how we went down there and got a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. And once we got below the shallow level of why, now we're getting to the real level. So as I was going through my health journey, and now for 5 years after that, what is the thing that has consistently caused me to maintain my discipline in that direction? That little guy right there. That little guy right there is the deep why. Again, it started with I want to be an active grandfather, but it got down to a deeper sense. You see, that is why when I want to binge eat, and can I tell you, there are temptations to binge eat in my life, even 5 years down the road. I am reminded of that why. And so I want to bring that all the way back to what you're going through right now in this community and through this coaching. Have you gotten deep enough to the why? Why are you trying to establish habits? Why are you setting goals? Why do you have a career trajectory? And this why has to be deep enough and unique enough to you that on the days when everything goes off the rails, on the days when it feels like you're making zero progress, on the days when the confrontation smacks you in the face and you're not feeling it, that you will have the discipline to move forward, that you will eat the frog. If anybody's heard Eat the Frog, if you haven't heard it, look it up. What do you have to do when you eat a frog? You eat him first thing in the morning. So I just want to reiterate this morning, all of the exercises we've given you, all of the tasks we're going to give you, all get back to helping you achieve that which you want. You may or may not have articulated it at this point, but you know what you want and why you want it. Now let's get really deep on that why. Because I'll tell you, outside things are going to try to derail you. Outside influence people are going to tell you you're crazy for trying to do personal development, or not taking the corporate personal development course that everybody went through and actually investing in yourself and being a part of this community. And then when you're sitting down and doing the work and somebody looks over your shoulder and says, "Why are you doing that?" And you're like, "I've got a big why. I've got a deep why. I've got a reason that I am doing these things." Dave Ramsey takes people through financial development, helping them get out of debt, helping them save for the future. And while maybe you agree or disagree with his methods, one of the things that he teaches that I believe resonates in this idea of the deep why is this: live like no one else today so that you can live like no one else tomorrow. Do the hard work now. Find that deep why now. Go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to find out your deepest why. And that will help you make the sacrifices. That'll help you make the tough decisions. It'll help you take the tough action now so that down the road, you can live like no one else. And that's not just in the world of entrepreneurship. It can be, well, how did so-and-so ascend in this organization? Or how did such and such go get recruited into this much better place? Or how again, it is you. I'm merely pulling things out of the air, but you know what it is that you want and what your why is. Maybe yes, happy last day of November, Morella. There is a video, and again, I know I shared a video the other day, and I'm not going to make a habit of always sharing YouTube videos. But Dan Graziosi does a video called 7 Levels Deep. And it's a perfect example of the exercise that I'm talking about. In fact, I'll go ahead and put that link here in the chat. I'll also put it in the community later on. But I want you, over the next day, 24, 48 hours, over the weekend, watch this video. Watch this video and go through the 7 levels exercise. I believe you will hit next week when we get very tactical on goal setting, when we get very tactical on actions, when we get very tactical, you will have your mindset in the place where you can do the work. Because all the teaching in the world does you no good if you don't do the work. So, as I wrap up this morning, I'm sure I've gotten the gears grinding in your brains and in your consciousness about, well, what is my why? I'm not really sure. That is going to be an exercise for you to go through. And again, the 7 levels deep, that'll help you. It is going to be emotional. Because when you get deeper into your why, there are going to be some reasons. And don't think that your why is selfish. You may want a bigger house. You want to do better in your career because you want a bigger house. Great. Why do you want a bigger house? Go down deeper, deeper, deeper. It's not selfish. But you need to figure it out for yourself what the why is in your life. Because that, again, will be the thing that takes you from here to off the screen. All right, I'm going to the chat this morning to say hello. Hello, Cicely. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Shayna. Cicely says that is an interesting way to approach why. It absolutely is. I've heard Simon Sinek. I've read books. All the why things. But this, for me, is the key to really, really moving forward in any area of your life. Again, my why was tied to my health. Your why can be tied to this. Your why can be tied to relationship goals. Whatever it is in your life where you're trying to advance, you need to dig deep first. That is going to do it for this episode of Keep This in Mind. For more, visit davidaspecht.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and remember, applied knowledge is power. God bless.